Hi you guys, hope you all are having a great day. Don't forget to subscribe and all the links will be down below. Okay, so I've decided I want to do something about like my everyday brush routine. So I have this thing right here in my lap, but I think I'm going to split it into eye and face videos just because even if I give a little bit of a description about each brush, let's say I think I have like 75, 80 brushes here. That's going to be a very long video, but again, I don't use most of them, so this is going to be something that I use quite often, so something I definitely recommend. So again, I think I'm going to split it, and just so you know, I keep it in this little carousel thing. Basically, you put it flat, and it spins. It has 6 compartments. It's triangular, and I got it at TJ Maxx, I think for like $12.99, or maybe like $14. No, actually, if I remember correctly, no, it was $17.99. It was a different thing that was $12.99. So let's get right into it. So for this, again, I have them separated in compartments. I'm going to let you, as you can see, we're just going to show you like this. Right here are all my kabuki brushes, so any, or like foundation brushes. I have some buffing brushes. Anything basically I need to apply liquid or cream product with. Right here, I have my concealer brushes, so anything, again, that I need to blend, this is where the brushes will be. Then right here, the third compartment, this is all, these are my eye brushes, not eyeshadow, but like mascara brushes. I have so many eyeliner brushes, a bunch of just different eye brushes that you can do a lot of different things with. Then this one, the biggest one, probably because there's the most amount of hair on each brush, and these are my powder brushes. And then right next to it, I have these brushes. They're like foundation brushes, but this is kind of like my junk compartment. So I used to keep my Real Techniques sponge in here, but then I threw it out because it's like so old, and my beauty blender I keep somewhere else. But these I just don't tend to use that often, so they're kind of in this compartment for when I see it, I like need them to fit my face or something. They just kind of hang out there. And then this last compartment right here are all my eyeshadow brushes. So again, let me get right into it. I don't know if I'm going to pick face or eyes yet, so you'll just have to see. So I'm going to do my face brushes to start off with. I'm going to show you the 3 compartments I use for my face brushes. And the first thing I have here are my powder brushes. So these are them, and I'm just going to go one by one and show you what I do with them. The first one is my fan brush. Now this I use to apply a highlighter. It is just a mini fan brush, and it is perfect to get on the high points of the cheeks. These are all made with sable hair. I got this in a big kit because I know spending money on like each brush individually, it gets expensive. For me, I think you need like 3 main things to get a perfect makeup look, which is a beauty blender or a sponge. You need a really decent kabuki or buffing brush for your foundation, and a really good blending eyeshadow brush. That's really all you need to get a great makeup application, like a flawless look. So, but this sable hair set wasn't like it's some cheap thing off eBay. This was something I got for Christmas that I had been wanting for a while. So yeah, this is just the little small fan brush I use for highlighting. The next one is actually a jumbo size buffer fan brush. In a way, it's like a powder brush but spread out. I use this for multiple reasons. Sometimes I will like put a little bit of a contour here. Sometimes I even just like to blend my things, like my makeup out if I think it's too heavy, with a powder brush, just because it picks up some of that cream product rather than blending it in. It makes it, I don't know, it just breaks it up and makes it look nice. I know you don't want to say, my foundation's breaking up. That doesn't sound good, but trust me, this works very well at buffing my stuff in. And again, it's so soft. Oh my goodness. This next one is a Real Techniques brush. I got this in the little kit. I think it's just a contour brush, and I basically use this to get into the hollows of my cheeks, and that's it. This is just my contour brush. This is my favorite contour brush, and again, I use this practically every day. This next brush I don't tend to use often in pair with this. I have them just in case I ever need them, but this is my powder and cheek brush from Mary Kay. The hairs aren't that soft, they're kind of rough. If my foundation is too light for me, I will dip this in some bronzer and powder and like patch it and sponge it on, I guess you could say. So that's really what I use this for. I don't tend to ever use this brush, but again, I keep in that little compartment just so I have something extra. The next product I have here, or not product, brush I have here is a powder brush, again for my sable hair set. I'm going to try and find a link to them. I don't remember what website I got them off. Maybe they even have them on Amazon cheaper. I really don't know. But this is my everyday powder brush. I just dip this in my NYC loose powder, and I put it all over because it distributes the product so nicely. This is my favorite powder brush because it is so soft. This next product I do when I want to cover my pores, when I feel like they're looking larger than usual, and I'll get some powder and I'll put it in these two spots right here, and it basically like puts the powder on top of the pores and it makes it appear as if you didn't have pores. So I love that, and I believe I got this. This was actually, I don't know if this is from BH Cosmetics or my set from eBay, but I love this brush for it because it's nice and soft too, and it doesn't shed. None of these brushes shed much at all. This next product is when I'm doing strobing, and this is just basically a thicker brush, but it's still very nice for highlight, and this just gives me a stronger highlight, so it's really good for that strobing look, and again, I got this in my Sable Hair brush set. This next product I also got, I don't know if the set was from BH Cosmetics or eBay, so anything we see with this gold is from one of the above, and this is my blush brush, and I just dip this into blush, and it's really good at blending everything out at the same time, and it doesn't distribute the product too heavily because you don't want to look like a clown with your brush, with your blush. I do find a little bit of the hairs need to be trimmed, but again, they don't shed and they clean very nicely and they're soft. The last two, like powder brush or any types of hair that is good for powder products, I have this, which is my bronzer brush. So this is when I apply bronzer all over, not contour, but more of bronzer, just because I don't wash my brushes after every use because that gets a little hectic. I do it every couple of times I use it, so this tends to have more of my warm tone bronzers, where my other little brush right here I use more for contouring with cool tone stuff. And the last little one I have right here is my e.l.f. small tapered brush, and I basically use this to fit right underneath my eyes. So this next one, I'm just going to show you the stuff that I don't really use and where I got it from. This is these two brushes are very similar. They're both like tapered like brushes. Sometimes I use it to contour or blend in my concealer if I bring it all the way down. But other than that, I don't really tend to use this much. And again, I know some people like to contour with it. I just don't tend to use them. Same thing with like flat foundation brushes. I don't tend to use these often. Only times if I have foundation and I want to like apply it swatches like that, but I don't ever blend it in with these foundation brushes. This is by Real Techniques. This came with a Sable Hair set, and then by the way, these two that I showed you before, I believe eBay or BH Cosmetics, and Morphe. And then the last, I already showed you these two that I don't use, but this last one is just, I think it's an Up and Up foundation brush. Again, I don't really tend to use it, but I keep it in there in case I need one clean brush all of a sudden to blend. This section over here is basically my foundation brushes or anything I use for cream or liquid. This one right here is from one of those sets, and this is my like go-to angled kabuki brush. This is what I started using when I started with foundation, except this is a new set. I haven't used that old set in a while. But again, this is the same thing. It's very nice and soft, and it blends out my foundation beautifully. Doesn't leave any streaks or anything. And I'm going to, hopefully I can find the links to these things, and I'll put them down in the description bar. The next product I've had for a while too is the e.l.f. Small Stipple Brush. This I use for anytime I need to blend cream, like cream blush or cream bronzer, cream contour, cream highlight, anything. This is my go-to brush. I absolutely love it because it's not dense, and as you can see, the hairs, some are longer and some are shorter, so it's really good at being a stippling brush. This next one I use two to blend out my foundation or to apply my foundation. This is my Morphe brush. I had gotten this off of HauteLook back in, I would say May, April, something like that. I recorded a video. It's somewhere on my channel. I can link it down below if you guys like, but this is one of the ones I blend my foundation with. This one I don't tend to use as often. I kind of use this as my color corrector, so when I apply my LA Pro Girl Green Concealer, on my red spots on my face, I tend to blend it in with this, but this also works for foundation. That's just what I use it with. And then these next two, again, this is the bigger Morphe brush that I compared to this Real Techniques brush. This one's just bigger, so it covers more surface area, but this one is a lot more lightweight for when you're blending your foundation. So these are the two that I use for my foundation the most often. And my last section for face products have to be these concealer brushes, which I have a few of them, so I'm going to try and go through them as fast as I can, so this is not a very long video. This one is just a concealer brush. I have its pairs with it. These are the concealer brushes I got in this set, and I basically use all of these the same to blend out concealer, spot concealer, under eye concealer. These are what I use these for. They're just like small little versions of the bigger ones I showed you, and then I have this, one that I will either use for the inner corner, and that's about it. I don't use much. Sometimes I actually contour with this on my nose because it's so small and tapered, but other than that, I don't really use it. And just so you guys know, this does happen a lot of times. I either stick it on or hot glue it, and it works just as well. The next ones I'm going to show you right here in my hand are my Morphe brushes that I use. These, again, are like the smaller versions of the ones I just showed you, so I either use this for contouring, and I use these two to blend out my concealer. I usually keep one if I'm going to the beach or I'm traveling, just so I don't have to have them all. So I have a lot of them, and they basically all do the same thing. They all work, and they blend concealer so beautifully. These next products, brushes. I don't tend to use this one very often. I got this in my eye set from Real Techniques. It is the Deluxe Crease Brush, but this is not good for an eyeshadow brush whatsoever. Sometimes I'll do that with concealer just because it is the densest brush I have among all my concealer brushes. But again, I don't tend to use it because I'm not someone who likes to look like really cakey or anything. And then these next four brushes right here, this one is the square camo brush that I like to use to angle out my eyebrows. And if I don't want something as sharp, I use either one of these detail. This is a small little e.l.f. one. This is a Real Techniques one. And this small camo brush came with my Sable hair brush set. And then this is my go-to concealer for under the eyes. And it's my Sonia Kashuk number 110. 11.0. This is just the brush I use. I've gone through two of these, and I even like to give that sharp crease look for your eyeliner to make your eyeliner look on point. And there's two last brushes I'm going to show you here. These are very much alike. This is the mini camouflage, and then this is the regular concealer brush. This I like to use if I want a softer, again, eye look, just kind of covering up any hairs I have, or just, again, making everything more like sharper. It depends. This is a very thin brush, as you can see, so anything you need that doesn't have a lot of hair to blend out the concealer works like a charm. And then this I tend to use underneath my eyes as well. So these are just some of the brushes I swap back and forth with, and basically my brushes either come from Morphe, Real Techniques, eBay/BH Cosmetics, because I don't remember where I got that set from, and then that Sable hair brush. So I'm going to try to find links for you, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you all have a great day.